Hey guys, what's up? My name is Williams from Williams CSharp and Engineering Walkthroughs, and in this particular stream, it's going to be quite fun, I think. It's going to be quite a chill stream as usual. My streams are very chill. I'm just checking my levels, make sure that my sound levels are okay. As the title suggests, what I'm going to be doing is tapering off from the last stream and building the Vanguard Engine DLL libraries. Basically, what's going on here? What is this stream about? So, I'm using C Sharp. I'm using C Sharp on top of the Universal Windows Platform, which is UWP. And I'm basically building, for lack of a better term, a template, an engine, a framework, however you want to say it. It's closer to a template what I'm building, but it resides on the library level. So I'm building a set of classes. Let me open my Solution Explorer. I'm building a set of classes here in a class library. This is a class library, Vanguard Core. And what these libraries do, these libraries are leveraging Win2D so that developers can build 2D games on top of this template. It's quite hard to use the term template now because I'm not building on top of the same project where the functionalities reside, because I am modularizing the features in a library. So you could say engine or framework maybe, because what's going on is on top of the library, I have a project that's consuming this library. I publish this library to a project called Vanguard. So if I just collapse the tabs, you see there are two things here, Vanguard and Vanguard Core. So Vanguard Core is the UWP library, and Vanguard is the UWP project that's actually consuming the library. I explained how to do that, how to consume DLLs in like, I think episode 1. Well, episode 2. Episode 1 didn't really get to coding, but I think it was session 2. So look out for that if you're interested. And yeah, so what I want to do today is, well, to preface what I'm going to do today for today's agenda, I'd like to just turn your attention to the fact that off screen, after yesterday's stream, I've actually been coding. So I was working in the back end, off screen. I changed a few things. I think I'm going to have a section on my notepad for changes. I have agenda and I have tasks. The agenda is like the overarching goals I want to achieve, or the overarching sort of like milestones. But the tasks are like the individual features I have to program and stuff like that. I should have something for changes so I can keep track of things. I'm using just like old school notes, you know? So yeah, I'll just run through some of the changes that I did. One of the bigger changes, in a sense, is the content pipeline. I didn't really get to, create much in terms of functionality with this particular class, but one difference is that there's no underlying interface relationship anymore. So I still have the interface. I have iContent pipeline, which is like an interface. I've even got the signatures still here. But I realized something. I want to use my sketchboard to kind of illustrate this because it makes it easier to show what I'm trying to say, not just me talking. But before I do that, let me just quickly check off screen to make sure everything's okay. I'm going to make sure I'm actually live by checking my channel. I'm just off screen, guys. Let me see. Let me just refresh my page. Let me check that the stream is online. Yep, seems to be online. Hey guys, anyone watching? What's up? Okay, cool. So I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, it shows that I'm live. I'm happy with that. Okay, sweet, let's get back to things. So, what have I been doing? I got rid of the interface relationship, as I said, for the content pipeline, because what I kind of realized, I'll use a sketchboard for this. Let me just go to my data interface class. Oh yeah, and I also added some more functions to my data interface class. I'm going to explain what the main purpose of this class is, in comparison with the content pipeline, because at the beginning they seem to do like the same thing, and even I was like, I'm not too sure about what's going on there, but they actually have two distinct roles, ideally, and I'm going to talk about that now, so we can kind of all be on the same page. Let's see. Okay, so I'm using mouse for this, so do excuse that my drawings might be a little wonky. I did have a Wacom tablet, but I got rid of it. I regret that. I need to get a new Wacom tablet, but anyway. So to make things quick, I'll probably use some abbreviations here, just to make things easy. So what's going on? Before I do this, let me show you the notepad. Not this one, but another one. I have this very rough, like, sort of like data flow structure for the Vanguard core libraries. I have some classes, the Z buffer. I'm going to talk about this a little later on. And if you've seen the Parallax Engine walkthroughs, guys, you might be a little bit familiar with like the Z buffer and stuff. So I have some classes which I made note of: my Z buffer class, my animation class, my animated draw class, and my animated resources class. All these classes reside in the models domain, and this is all the business logic of Vanguard, right, or Vanguard core library. So, just excuse me. So all the business logic of Vanguard core library, loading resources, converting PNGs to bitmaps that are displayed on the screen. If and when I make an audio library, because I probably will make or better said, an audio engine to parse audio, that has to be done as well. And then Z buffer to actually order scene objects on the screen. So like you have the background actually on the back, you have like a player agent actually at the front, that kind of stuff. I have the Z buffer class that deals with that. I'll quickly just like reveal it. Over here, this is the Z buffer, and I'll explain what it does. Pull this from my Parallax Engine source code. So yeah, I'll explain what that does a little later on. This is all in the models domain. And then you access or you bridge between the models domain and the view via the data interface layer. So the data interface layer is this. I decided to put the main class in the view model as well, because excuse me guys, I do tend to rely on the main class as well for accessing members of the data interface. So yeah, I decided to put them in the view model domain. So data interface acts as a bridge between the business logic and the content pipeline. And what the content pipeline does is that ideally what I want to do, because the main goal is that you open up a UWP project, you load Vanguard, you publish the libraries so that your project consumes the Vanguard core library. And ideally, you want to have I want it to be such that you want to build a simple scene. Cool. You have one class, you call a few functions, and you have a scene with the least amount of lines of code possible. That's what I'm trying to aim for, because it's become a little bit clear to me that in this AI age, people want abstraction. People want a really heavy level of abstraction, whereby you literally type a natural language prompt and you have a full game. People want that. People actually want to build games by prompting. And people have done that. They just prompt a game and they make a game, right? So there's demand for that. There's a market for that level of abstraction. So kind of taking off the playbook of that mentality, if I could open up a UWP project, have one single class, my main.xaml.cs, and I just have this is just an example, guys, 10 lines of code, right? And I have a scene that I can control, say, on the screen, then I think that's a fair amount of abstraction, in the sense of I have a prototype level built where a lot of the backend has been handled by a library. So that's the kind of idea. So so the thing is, with the content pipeline, so this is the project, this is the UWP project. I want to be able to talk to the models domain by picking out functions via the data interface, but then I pipeline these function calls in the content pipeline. The content pipeline can be accessed at the main project, the Vanguard project, or your project basically, right? Let me just change that. So again, I have my main XAML.cs should be able to talk to the content pipeline, and the content pipeline says, hey, I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many methods do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 methods, say. I only want 2 of them. I want to load my resources, this is just an example, and I want to populate my Z buffer. So the content pipeline will then choose what it wants from the data interface layer. So out of all 8 of these, it just wants 2 for now. So the content pipeline will then call those methods here. So I could be like data interface methods are called here as needed, say. And then, where was I? So the data interface methods are called, and the data interface talks, the data interface actually accesses the models domain. So I can be pulling like animated resources, and then I fire up the draw call. Now the thing about the draw and update call, because of the nature of what I'm doing here with Win2D, XAML is coupled, there's a bit of coupling with XAML, hence why I decided to have my initialization code with regards to the draw, as you can see there, the update, and the create resources event handlers in the actual project, right? So this is not in the library this is not in the library domain. This is in the domain of the project itself. You have to set up the event handlers, which means you do need Win2D for that. And I haven't actually tested this yet. I'm hoping that we can have a simple scene drawn on screen today. I'm going to see how that goes. I did a bit of back-end work off screen, as I said. But we have like 2 Win2D runtimes going on. But as long as we're passing the right instances of objects, I think things should be okay. Let me double check that I have Win2D here. Projects. It doesn't say that I have it, which is so weird to me. Oh yeah, that was right. I don't have Win2D on the Vanguard. I say Vanguard, I'm going to use a more generic term. When I say Vanguard, I'm probably going to refer to the library. And when I say like like a project, I'm talking about like a UWP project that's consuming Vanguard library. So I only have Win2D running on Vanguard core library, and so I'm gonna see how that works. Yeah, that might be quite interesting actually. I don't see why I would need 2, because what it is that the canvas animated control is actually the canvas animated control, sorry guys, could be found in the Microsoft namespace, Microsoft Graphics Canvas UI XAML namespace. So yeah, that should be good. So yeah, let's kind of get into things. So I was going to use my sketchboard to explain something. Because it's quite hard to, well, I kind of explained it already, actually. The relationship between my content pipeline and my data interface layer. I might sketch it out later as well, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. So this is the agenda. Let me run through the agenda quickly. What are the sorts of things that I'm trying to achieve with this framework, with this engine / template? Or better said, this library, really. Well, I want to be able to facilitate for RPG games. Every kind of genre of game is different, right? So there's different kinds of components, elements, and attributes of a game that make it unique. So it's easier to make a specific kind of game than it is to make an environment that facilitates for every kind of game. So that's why I'm targeting just RPGs. So things from draw call flow, animation routine, and scene building. This is what we're going to kind of focus on today, kind of the scene building, but that kind of relies on animation routine and draw call flow. And then how I'm actually doing all this depends on my tasks. Get that there. So I need to make sure that the event handlers for animated resources, draw and update all load correctly. I have them up here, but I haven't really tested them. I haven't run the program yet to test them. At least the animated resources, I need to make sure that works. So I'm gonna have to dive into my folder structure actually. I want to put an asset into the local scope of the project. Let me see if I can find that asset. I'm off screen right now. I'm gonna go to my Parallax Engine, folder structure, because I actually have some assets that I can use. And you know what? Let me get the whole folder. I don't need to get just one asset. I'll get like the whole lot. So I'm just off screen. Let's see. I have built the project, so I should have the directories up and running. Vanguard. Oh, when that was gonna be. Let's see. Where would the assets be? Let me check here. Let me see what's here. Let me actually see what's here. I've not really checked. Yeah, I don't think it will be here. I suppose the assets will reside in the project directory, not the library directory. That doesn't really... It makes more sense, doesn't it? Because yeah, when you're loading assets, as long as I can direct to the x86 folder and the assets folder, it should be here. But have I built this directory yet? It doesn't seem to be shown. Let me check. So, oh, here it is. So, AppX, has it got assets? Yeah. It just looks a bit different. Because I did build this the other day. Vanguard bin, x86 debug, AppX assets. How's it look? Has it got the splash screen stuff? Yeah, it does. I'll place them here. So I have a folder here with some assets. Let's see if it comes up. So I've got this folder called Valkyrie, which is just a very simple player sprite, like a swordswoman. Let's see if I can get it up. And we're gonna try and load like one sprite on the screen. And then maybe even, and then after that, yeah, then we can try and animate, so we can make like a whole idle animation like these ones. So I got that up and running in the folder structure. Let's see now. So what's next? What do we have to do here? So I'm going to probably jump into a debugging session. I think I'm going to start a debugging session, guys, because what I want to do is just make sure that I'm accessing my resources properly. I'm going to put a break here. This is here. I'm creating the create resources event handler, the create resource type event handler, as you can see, and I'm hooking a method to it, which is load animated resources, which is in my library. As you can see, Vanguard core, main data interface, and this might need rejigging because I probably want to talk through my content pipeline, but I just want to test things work first before I start with the content pipeline stuff. The content pipeline stuff is more like, when I know everything's working, then I can pipeline the scene, you know, if that makes sense. So if I'm calling load animated resources, let's go straight to the definition. Here it is over here. Let's go to the implementation of this signature. Where's data interface? Over here. I'm going to drag it so it's next to the other one. Let's see. So what was the name of the function? Load animated resources. Over here. And this is the implementation, so that's the function in the animated resources class. I'm going to go to it over here, and here's the actual meat and potatoes of the implementation. So go through the folder structure, as you can see here, and then I'm essentially creating two ranges. Anytime you see like a for int, or should I say a for loop, with like this int range, as you can see, just by eyeballing it, you already know this is a range. You know, for index equal to 0, index is less than some value, increment x, that indicates some kind of range, doesn't it? And we're for looping through that range, so you don't even have to really think about it, you just know by looking at it. So this is a range, and I'm doing the same thing twice. So I got inner outer range and like a nested range, as you can see, but both rely on different indexes. So index here, index 0, index 0, index 0. So they're different indexes. Different indexes are governing these ranges. And I'm adding to this class this object, which is a list of string, which is essentially just a file path. I already kind of illustrated in a previous workshop. So I have lists of string, as you can see here. So if that's the, if I just kind of like bring it down a little bit, like if this is a list, each element is another list. Okay, so this is a list holding multiple lists, and each element of this outer list has a nested list of string, and the string is just a file path to my sprite animation, i.e. my Valkyrie. Each of these sprites have its own file directory, right? Excuse me, guys. Alright, sweetness. So let me just, I'll leave it like that actually. Let me just do it a bit smaller. Okay, sweet. So that's what this is doing, and then eventually I'm calling another function at the bottom, I think, load bitmap from file. So as soon as all of this routine is done, then I'm loading bitmap from files. So now I'm converting the PNG files. I think they're all PNG images. Let me just hover over one. Yeah, PNG files. I'm converting them to a bitmap format that like UWP can process, Win2D can process. This canvas bitmap type, as you can see, it says canvas bitmap there. And I'm storing it in a list called assets. Actually, assets is a list of lists, so it's the same kind of structure as we had here, but instead of file paths, these are actual canvas bitmap objects. So it's kind of like a reflective kind of thing there. That's what all this is doing. So I'm going to put a breakpoint, I think, at the end of this routine, so that if I hit the break, then I know the routine succeeded, or at least I stepped through the entire routine. And then I can use the debugging tools to actually expose some of the elements to make sure that my my files, like Valkyrie 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, such and so forth, all my images actually loaded. So I'm going to put a break there and see what happens. I'm going to run the program. I'm probably going to be met with errors and exceptions because I've literally not tested this in like since a day or two ago. I've not built the program, so I've just been coding blind. I say blind, just like straight ahead. Okay, let's see. Let me go to my main and let's build with debugging. And so while that's happening, I'm just going to check some things off screen. Hey there. I see you. Soccernock363. What's up? Good to see you there. So I'm just waiting for Visual Studio to load. Just waiting for my program to load. It does take a little while. Not too long, but my laptop isn't. It's a really old laptop. It's a really old laptop. I need to actually upgrade. When I do upgrade, it's gonna be great because I'm just gonna go ham on some of the features of my new computer. It'll be like ton of RAM, especially decent SSD or something, just so I can really optimize my code, my coding sessions and stuff. But yeah, that's another topic. So yeah, we're just building the project. And I'm not expecting to see anything on the screen. I'm just expecting to see some resources like moving around. We haven't really touched upon how we're drawing and what are the constraints of like the animation parameters, because I've already I can't really show it now because it's going to kind of like slow things down, but yeah, I built, let me see, go to Notepad, where's the other one? While I was off screen, I had this animation class. I built this animation class with the help of my Parallax Engine source code. And it has some the animation class has some functions that you give in some parameters, like maybe a range of 0 and 1, or actually, 0 and 1, maybe like 0 to, oh, I should have clicked it, 0 to 5, and then the program will actually animate these sprites. It will like load it onto the draw core, or within one draw core, but rather, wait, actually, is it within one draw core? Let me see. No. So on each draw core, each respective sprite will be displayed on the screen, if that makes sense, to create the animation. So I can walk us through that when we get to that stage. Okay, so we're gonna hit some breakpoints soon. And that's good because then I can see if the appropriate resources are coming through. I don't even think I specified constraints for like the file path, so it doesn't even know where to look per se. I think I have to make sure I have the file paths, but I want to just like step through and see what's going on. I'm really seeing this. This happened last time, and then it did hit anyway. I just have to wait a little bit, I think. Last time I just sat down and waited, and then it just continued. So I'll just wait for this. I want to wait in my animated resources class, but I don't want to slow down my program. Ooh, I just realized something. I'm calling sudo. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I want to call sudo Python. I have to. Draw update, animate Vanguard core. So I'm instantiated animated draw. I'm instantiated animate update. Move that out of the way. Animated resources. Okay, looks like we might have liftoff soon. Here we go. Okay, we hit our first breakpoint. Just takes a little while. Okay, so let's step through. Let's step into our break. Okay, that was weird. That was very interesting. I thought it would go straight to the method. Very interesting that it did that. Okay, let's continue to see what happens. Oh, I'm really that's curious. Let's see what happened there. Will the other breakpoint be hit? I think Visual Studio is just thinking. Oh, that's so strange. I thought it would go straight to the to my hooked method. Let's see. So then this weird class, this boilerplate class, aren't I? AppSample CS. Probably gonna get errors or an exception of some sort. I don't think I'll get error. I think I'll get an exception. Got a ton of warnings I need to sort out as well. Just having a look at the output window. And let me step out. Okay, sweet. Well, we have a blank screen. Let me just have a look at that. Looks like I hit another break. Computer's a little bit laggy, but I hit a break, I think. I'll wait for Visual Studio to catch up. Where am I? I'm on load animated resources, I think. That's interesting. Sweet, okay. Yeah. That's quite good. Quite good that I'm here. So what this means is that, of course I hit an exception because my constraints are not correct. Like my indexes are like all 0 and stuff, and I haven't even really placed a file path here. I don't think. Like the folder path isn't correct, so it doesn't know where to look, I think. It doesn't know to look in the assets folder, and I just pasted that Valkyrie folder, so it doesn't know what it is. But the good news is that I am in my load animated resources, my hooked function. So what I'm gonna do, let me see, debug, what else from before? So now I just need to set the correct constraints. I was looking at my commented code this to the side. Here it seems that I hard-coded file paths, but it's not a good idea. I should be using like this, as I already put like a folder path list, and then I should be passing the file paths from the consuming project of my Vanguard core. Let me see. Yeah, just gonna check it out. There's nothing there, so I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna basically make a reference to this directory so that the program knows where to look. So folder path, let me go to definition, already constructed it. So I just need to populate this. I'm not gonna make it public. I'm gonna either use a public property or method. probably a method for now in my data interface. In my data interface class. So it's called folder path. Oh, but it has to be. Oh, this has to be public actually. Well, it could be internal. I think the scope. I think I'm gonna make this in. It was a public class, so why not make the member public as well? I guess. I can look into like protection levels, like better protection levels later, but for now, because we're going to be using this out of scope of the class, I'll make it public. I wonder if I should, yeah, if it's private, I won't be able to see it. Okay, sweet. That'll be public. And as with the file paths, I reckon I'll need that later on. And so I'm going to go through my data interface layer. I don't know where I should put it. Put it here. What was it called? What was my member called? Folder paths. I'll put it in my folder file path list. So go through my main. This one goes. Animated resources. Folder paths. And that's a list, right? Or is it list of list? List, okay. Alright. List, so yeah, just list of folder paths for all the assets. Okay, got it. Right. So let's use the add function. And then I have a string here. Every time I call this function, I'm adding to my list of folder paths and I'm adding a folder directory. So let's say folder path like this. Right. And because I have a data interface layer, I need to have the signature reflected on my contract essentially. So public, should I just copy and paste it like this? Right, okay, cool. So populate for the file path list is here. I've got the implementation logic nice and neat in my data interface class. So now, and the content pipeline can access this, so I'm not too worried about updating my content pipeline right now. So now that I've done that, I reckon I'm going to need the file path as well. So let me just quickly go to my animated resources. Which function was it again? Oh, I was here. I think, was it here? Or was it the other one? I see the breakpoint there, but what was the line? Let me go to my output. What line was I on? That's not going to say, is it? No. I need the trace. Let's find it. Eyeball it. Was it folder? No, it wasn't that one. Folder path. Let's see the function what that is. Okay, I've already got a function called populate folder path list. I can call this. I just found it now. Yeah, it's better I stick with this. So, even a reference. Where's this reference? Is that the one I just did? So I wrote the implementation. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Animated resources. Oh, I made this ages ago. See guys, it's right at the top. So I made this in day one of coding. Like when I was coding this, like which was session 2. I've already got a call to populate the folder path list, so I didn't need to make it again. I just repeated myself essentially. Where is it? Populate folder path list. See how I just did that twice? Whoops. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. Resources. And here I'm actually breaking my convention by adding it manually. when it should actually just be a call to the function in the models domain. See, so it's good I caught that. I'll get rid of this. And obviously I need to reflect my change in my actual implementation class. Oh, that's strange. One, two, three, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Populate folder path list. I just deleted it, but I just made it as well, so what's going on? Populate folder, oh here it is. Populate folder file path list, that's the one I just made. There was no reference on that. Okay, that should be fine. I got a little confused though. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. Alright, so I just use this. Yeah, that's cool. Populate file path list. Let me see the implementation. So for folder range, which is probably 0, that needs to be a value. Let's see. For the folder range increment index, depending on how many folders I want to pass, I guess I should pass the value when I'm calling the function, because it depends. I could be trying to load like 2 folders or 1 or 100 at one time, so I need to sneeze. Ah, my sneeze went away. Whoops. Let's just say folder range. I'm just gonna call it range, it's gonna get a little confusing. I have like different kind of objects, the same names, a bit confusing. Right, sweetness. So I've got range, pass here, then go to the reference and just update this. Do I have to update this? Yeah, I thought so. So populate file path list, and it's reflect this parameter here, so I'm going to say range, pass it here. I'm going to just check my interface. Where is it gone? Further, range, like that, and with the background. This one, I think. Yeah, error. My error's gone. Alright, cool. Let me go back. Split file of folder range. Don't I mean file range? Oops. File path list range. I'm using the wrong object. I'm using the wrong thing. Because this is file path list, should be file range. Because what's actually going on is that in this whole folder, which I'm homing in on, I may not need all these sprites, right? I might just need the first 7 sprites, as you can see. So just change that naming convention. It's gonna get confusing. Folder range. Strange. Am I using that somewhere else? Outer list. Yeah, folder range. That's the outer list. Folder range, outer list. So I don't want to use that. Let me make something called file range. I may already have a value for that. So I'm seeing like frame set range. Let me just double check. Set frame range. Maybe I can use that. Frame set range. Am I using that anywhere? Loops in my outer list. Frame set range. That's weird. Folder range. It's probably my nested. This should probably say nested list. So I'll double check this. Do you know if I'm using that function? Just want to double check this, guys. All these naming conventions flying around the place. I said 0 index count. Just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna just make another variable. Just to be safe. Just for that one, for this one, the one of my functions. So public int, let's say file range, or maybe even like file count or something. Because I may want to specify like I want to just load 7 sprites. Let me see. So public file path list, folder range equals range. I'm going to use this instead. Oh yeah, I was using folder range. So file range. Oops. File range like that. Cool. So for the range of my files I want to select, so let's set like 7 files. File path add happens 7 times, so I make 7 slots in my list. Okay. So again, I'm just adding the constraints to my resource loading routine, so that I can actually target my stored image and load it at runtime. So let's see. I habitually just save my project a lot, which is quite a good habit, I think. I'm just pressing Control S a lot. Right. Let me see. Do I need to load the program now? I don't think I specified the file path. So, because I could have Valkyrie, I could have Sonic, I could have Amy. I'm just making up like game characters here. You know, Sonic Amy. I used to be a big Sonic fan. Anyway, I almost wanted to make a Sonic game. Let me know if you want to see a Sonic fan game. I wouldn't mind making one. I'm scared that I'll get like copyright struck, but I don't know. I would love to make a Sonic fan game as a side project. But obviously after Valkyrie, these libraries are done. Valkyrie I said. Vanguard, right? Vanguard core. Let's see. So here's where I'm loading the file paths. I obviously commented that out. Sprite file paths, .add, folder path, index, slot. Oh yeah, so this is the thing. Obviously I named each sprite 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 going up. This is easy because now that I'm incrementing with my for loop, I don't even have to write like, you know, the name of my sprite. It's just all numbers, and they all go incrementally. So, you know, as long as slot is 0, 1, 2, 3 up to my range, then I'm cool. I just typecast my number to a string with toString, add .png, I can concatenate this, and I've got my file path. So I'm going to test this. I want to test it from the top. It's probably async stuff. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And I'm going to put another break here, 228. I'm going to run the program. So right now I'm just waiting for UWP to load. Okay, checking out the comments. Hey guys, I'm a C# developer and I find what you're doing cool. Thanks. Thanks Texans and Sonic, awesome game. I know, right? I used to be a big Sonic fan. Like, I used to make Sonic comics in my spare time. Oh, got an error. Hold on. Oh, semicolon. Like, the ultimate error of all developers. Anyway. I would love to make a Sonic fan game. I actually made 1 or 2 Sonic fan games back in the day. I made like this random WPF Sonic fan game. I think it was on UWP actually, not WPF, but it was like these rings were falling, like Sonic rings, and you had to catch them. I don't know if I've still got the footage. I used to have it. It was just a really random game I made just to just test my skills and stuff. I've made a few games actually. There's another one. I'll see if I can introduce it to the channel. Do you know that Dreamcast game called Choo Choo Rocket? I made a game like that using UWP. I've still got the source code, so maybe I'll make a little video or I'll feature it on the channel for the next stream just to show you guys how it works. It was really cool. I actually want to work on that, but obviously I need to focus on this first. So we're here. I'm going to step out so we can hopefully just go straight to the animated resources class. And just keep stepping out. Animated resources. Let me just continue stepping. Continue going. I'm going to step out just for speed. Hopefully I don't hit any exceptions. Here we go. So here's what I want to look at. Let me go to my output window. Oh, sorry, no, I mean my locals window. Just so I can see what's what. Is it loaded? Here we go. This thing here. Let me see what's what. Okay. Let me make this a little smaller. So this is what I'm concerned with mainly. So what's the folder path? There's nothing there. Okay, that's not good. Let me make sure I'm populating my folder path. I'm actually calling my folder path routine to make it. I don't think so. That's why this is empty. Let me just check the ranges. Everything is 0 because I have not called it. Oh yeah, of course. I set the implementation and I'm not calling it. I totally forgot. So let me just I'll get rid of one of these breaks. I don't need the one at the top. I don't need this one so far. The question is, where will I call my... I guess I'll use data interface. Obviously the implementation logic's here, but I'll have to call the logic on the content pipeline. Which one is it? Easy to see things here. I need to populate my folder path list. I need to populate the file path list. So even if it's just one sprite. So let me go ahead and just copy that. And let me go to my content pipeline. So data interface methods are called here as needed. I think the pipeline might be an optional thing, but it's really nice to just streamline method calls. Populate. Oops, messed up. So main, access my data interface via my main class. This. And then I just set my constraints. So it's the folder path list. This is where things get a little bit interesting because this is the library level. I don't want hard-coded magic in the library level because when I publish the library, it's not going to be, I won't be able to change that. So I'm going to need to pass the file paths from my consuming, basically my project that's consuming the library. So I need some kind of variable. Folder path, like this. For now, I'll keep it. Where should I keep it? I'll keep it in my main. One of core members. Things will be neater if I just keep everything in one place. My members in organized places. So, public static string folder path like this. Close this like this. I'll do the same for file path. Oh, but file paths are this, so I'll do that later, as and when. And then I'll reference this folder path variable. Go back. Where am I forgot where I am. Public file path, public folder path. Is that not? Oh yeah, the content pipeline, of course. So main this, and so if I go to my main, obviously this has to be the content. Wait, yeah, the content pipeline. The way I did it, the content pipeline. I should draw some arrows. Editing skills. I'm trying to reference project at the top. Okay, so the content pipeline technically should be talking to the upper layer, which is the project layer. So I need to make this visible, this content pipeline visible to my project layer. Yeah, that's interesting. Obviously I can fix the visibility layers later properly. Like technically this model shouldn't even be visible at all to anything but the data interface, but I'll get to that eventually, probably, most likely. I'm just like optimizing my framework. Where was I? So, public folder path. Oh yeah, it was content pipeline. Where am I? Main data interface folder path. Yeah. So, the question is, how do I pass the folder path into the library? I need a function for that. So I'll make one, but it's not to make it here. Better not to make it in my main. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. Okay, I see. Okay, this is getting interesting. Okay, sweet. Let me see how things go. So many ways I can approach this. Why don't I keep the convention going? I'm really scrutinizing my pipeline, my content pipeline, but I'm not gonna count this out just yet. What we'll do, let's go through my data interface layer, because this is where my main implementations are. Where is it? Where's the resources go? Right here. Might want to return a string. Nah, I'll keep a void. So now this particular method, I know I'm breaking my convention a little bit, that's fine. When I call this from my project, I'm passing the folder path, so main folder path equals path. I'm going to call it path instead. Path. Now I want to call this in my project level. So I just copy this. I'm going to go to my my main page. So after all this, as we step through this, we already stepped through all of this, and it seemed to be working so far. As you saw, I went to the hooked method. I went to the hooked method in my debug session over here. So after I set up my event handlers, actually, before I set up my event handlers, I need to pass my constraints, because then I don't want to start firing my resource loading routine without the constraints. So it's going to be Vanguard core namespace. I'm going to look for I should really go I need to go through my main data interface and this set folder path, and then it's looking for overload. I think I'm not sure if it's working. Let this go wrong. That's incorrect. Oh, did I update it? Oh well, that's the cool thing. Republic void set folder path. Let me just make the reference on my interface. Is that why it's not showing? Because you can get implementations without reflected signatures on the interface, but it's not vice versa. So you can't have you can have the implementation with no signature, but you can't have the signature with no implementation. That won't work. So let's go ahead and make a signature. Maybe that's what's going on here. I'm just seeing my visibility is going to work now. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, it does come up. That's so cool. So this suggests to me, because obviously I'm constructing the interface, so that's why I need the signature valid. Okay, so path. So now, because I'm in project scope, not library scope here, I can start to kind of like build my scene. So obviously I might have some hard-coded components here, such as the folder path. So what I'm going to do is get the folder path of my Valkyrie picture, my Valkyrie sprites. This is the folder path. Well, that's the file path. Oh no, that's the folder path. So I'm going to just click the space, copy it. And I'm going to literally just hard-code it in for now, because it's quick. And just need to make sure everything works. So that's the folder path. Awesome. Let me put a quick comment up here. Okay, oops. Okay, I'm going to go back to my data interface. And this actually calls the add function. Wait, what am I doing? Populate folder path list. Yeah, this is different. This just passes the folder path, then I add, and then the folder path is added via this. I'm not explaining that very well. Okay, I have to deal with this. Populate file path. So now that I have the folder path set, let me look at the flow again. I might skip a step. So set folder path. I have my folder path here, passing it as an overload to this function here. If I go to the implementation, set folder path, main folder path equals path. So now this variable has my path in scope. So I have to keep an eye on this because, oh my goodness, well, it depends what I'm using this. Populate folder path list. Let me just have a look at what this is doing. I'm calling this function, I'm just adding in the folder path, adding, yeah, okay, sweet. So what am I passing in the overload here? Let me go back. Folder path here, I need to look at where I'm calling this. It would be in my main, right? I think. Oops. Main folder path. Oh wait, this is my conduit pipeline. Okay, fair enough. So in my conduit pipeline, I'm calling my folder path. Let me just have a look at it, which has a value, which it will be assigned a value, as I've done earlier. I showed you guys earlier, which is my Valkyrie folder path. So that's all well and good. So now that we've targeted the folder, I want to target the sprites individually. I'm doing 2 separate steps. That's the way I'm approaching this. So if I go back to my actual implementation of my sorry guys, if I go to my resource routine implementation, in animated resources, I want to see what's needed, and then I facilitate for what I need. So my folder path will be populated. Yeah, that's it. That's all I need right now, because once the folder path's populated, all the files are referenced as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. I'll just show that one time. As you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's all done programmatically. I'm gonna make sure the slot ranges, my slot range, my nested list ranges are okay. Folder paths will have accounts innately. This would be 1 because I populated it earlier. I think this should say nested list, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to leave the comment. Asset 0 index count. I don't really know what that means actually. All I need to know is this is some range. Where am I using it? It's a, okay. Okay, I think I understand this. So if I'm less than equal to a range, I keep incrementing through. It's probably for the individual sprite animations. So for now, that asset 0 index count, if I wanted to say animate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of these, 0 index 7, then that should be 7. So it will just like stop here. Then in the next routine, the next step of the routine or whatever, the next cycle, it will then go to like 8, which is here, 0 index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 8 here. And it will go and it will probably stop around here. So I just need to make sure this number is fine. Let me go up. It's probably 0 at the top. Yeah, I even put a comma next to it. List of indexes. Yeah, technically this should be a list of indexes. I'm gonna pass it all, maybe as a list actually, because I'm potentially gonna have like tons of animations that need to be referenced, you know. So how can I approach this? Probably in the same way or similar way as my folder file range. So let's see. I don't want to complicate this. I already know that I'm stepping through different sprites. I need to find that number that's going to be useful. Let me see. And it would be it would be my nested list range. Oh, where am I? Yeah, this one. So just have to make sure I say the value. Let me make things simple for now and just see how it goes. I could just directly assign a value, which is what should be done. I just don't know if I should. I'm just not sure if I use a list or something. I should probably do. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So let's see. Let's see if it's going through this step. I could just change the value, but I gotta know what that change is without interfering with the program. Yeah, I'm being lazy. Let me just make a list. See what happens. I might be adding an extra layer of complexity. I'm not sure. Probably am, but I'm gonna just I just want to make it work. I should use better naming convention. I said 0 index, so this is kind of strange. 0 index count. Yeah, I get it. So I'll just construct my list here at the top. And then I need to populate my list. So I have a function for that, which I call via my data interface again. Probably, I might even have the functionality I need here. See, it's already here. I've already done it, man. It's pretty cool, but obviously it's not the list. It's just the variable. As a 0 index count. I could just call this function. But I even made a comment saying I should make a list. So it would be better if I just adhere to that. Let's see. Wait, hold on, what am I doing here? Yeah, okay, cool. Populate on the list. Let's count. This will have to be in a for loop. Make sure I'm doing this right. So if I have like 2 sprites, that's the count, right? Okay. I don't even doing that. I'm just populating it with the count number itself. Oh, is that right? Hold on, guys. It should even be a list. It should just be a variable, right? Because it's a range. So I'm treating my range with a variable, right? Yeah, I think I overcomplicated this. Hold on a sec, guys. I don't need a list, I think, because by virtue of the fact, if this value is 4, say, then obviously I will cycle 4 times, so it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Say, I might evaluate the first sprite, depending on my range, then the second, third, fourth individually. So I don't need a list for that. Okay, I don't think I need a list. I'll just call this function. Yeah, I think I got a bit confused. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave my variable at the top, the list one, just in case, because I wrote this. So maybe I did see a need for a list, but I don't think I need it. I don't think I need a list. And where am I? What's the name of my function? Yeah. Quite eager to run the program. Getting there. So I'm going to go to my data interface. Just calling that method from my data interface layer rather than accessing my models folder directly. That's what this is all about. I'm just going to call it the same thing now. Implementation logic, yeah. And the count. So in this case, it's going to be 1. I'm just going to like load 1 set of animations. Oh no, that's not right. This has to be loaded dynamically. So it should be like count. What am I doing? So count. Of course, on project level, then I assign this value. Cool. Alright, so set as a 0 index count. Let me update my signature. This. Where's my content pipeline? I'm not really using the interface. As I said earlier, I'm not using this as an interface layer. Like, I really don't need it. It's still here, but I don't need it. It's all just going to be implemented on a class, a standard class. So, yeah, okay, fine. So make sure I'm calling this content pipeline. Guess I need to make the folder path before I populate the range. That's the range. My asset 0 index count. Now make a variable name. I'll just say asset range. It's simple. Where am I? Main public object and asset range equals 0, which I can update in my project level. Core. It's going to be set here on project level. Alright. I'll look at some of the comments. Why don't you choose to rewrite an engine instead of using Unity? Good question. It's just fun. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's just fun. I mean, for me, it's a challenge. I could use Unity. In fact, I think I have Unity on my computer. I have like the Unity hub. It's probably outdated because I got it a while ago. I was playing on Unity, and I might make some content on Unity because it's my preferred engine out of all of them. But it's just the challenge. I want to make an engine from scratch. Why not? I'm learning a lot about object-oriented programming and how to apply these concepts, so that when if I do choose to use Unity, which will probably be a lot more robust than what I'm doing here, you know, an industry grade, like proper engine, you know, at least I can apply my OOP concepts to build a game using Unity, you know. It makes my life a lot easier. So, but I started as a C# developer, you know, a raw C# developer. So, you know, it's just by virtue of the fact that that's my bread and butter, C#. I thought, why not? You know. What else is here? Have you used C? Yeah, so I do use C and C++. I enjoy it. I'm still learning it in the sense that, yeah, I'm still kind of like I'm very much learning C++, and particularly for DirectX. That's where I like to use C++ for DirectX. I think it's very useful for me to know C++, because I do want to get into some more DirectX stuff, which is like really nuts and bolts of like game engine development. So for like DirectX stuff, C++ is non-negotiable because DirectX is written with C++, right? You write C, you call DirectX libraries using C++, and you build your DirectX engine on C++. So C++ is kind of non-negotiable if you want to go the DirectX route. Okay. Let me see. So I set my asset range. Just trying to figure out where I am again. Yeah, that's the asset range there. So I'm gonna just make sure everything is passing. So again, my breakpoint, as long as my constraints are passing, then that's good news. So there's my break. So I can evaluate line 2, 3, 4 over here. I'm just gonna step into it. So yeah, let's get started. Cool. So my UWP session is just loading now. Okay, so this shouldn't take too long. Let me check my notepad quickly. Where did I get it to? As far as I'm aware, the event handlers are loading correctly. The one that I haven't really checked for the draw and the update calls yet, but I think it is loaded. But I'll leave that there. I haven't really checked it. I'm still on the resources bit, let alone starting to check the Z buffer and stuff like that. Z buffer's gonna be fun. Okay, oh, still. Oh, here we go. Just started. Right, sweetness, here we are. I'm gonna step. Now let's have a look. That's 1. Excellent. So my constraint has been set to 1. Excellent stuff. Quite happy about that. Asset 0 index count. I'm pretty sure that was 1 just a second ago. Wait, what just happened? Oh, that was weird. I saw the number 1 somewhere. Maybe it was this. Oh, I think I highlighted this on accident. I thought that was not right. Am I calling it in the main? Oh, I didn't call the function, did I? I set the variable, but I didn't call the function. Data interface. What's the name of the function again? Make sure I'm calling my function. I'm setting the variable, but I need to pass it in the part. I need to pass my models, update my models in there. On the core main. Oh, oops. Data interface. I don't have to keep saying Vanguard core, but I will for now. At least I can read everything. Alright, that's that. I'm going to restart the program. think there's another function call I missed out. Oh no, it's here. Set folder path. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Let me see what happens. Okay, that's cool. I'm just waiting for UWP to load again. Okay, let me see what's going on. Okay, so asset 0 index count is 1. Let me just open my locals tab. See some of my variables. Yeah, asset 0 index count, as you can see, is 1. So I'm updating from my project level into my library, which is really good news. Let me check my sprite file paths. There's nothing saved in that, which is a bit strange. Have I even populated it? No, I haven't. So let me check my folder path. It populates here. Is my folder path here? No. Okay, that's not quite right. So where am I apparently supposed to populate this? Folder path. Folder path list. Am I calling this? No, there's only one reference, which is in my data interface. I'm not actually calling it, am I? I thought I did. Oh, that's just to set the folder path, but I haven't actually called the function. Main data interface. Let's populate, right? Folder path. And I've saved, see, this is the thing. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So every time I call this function, I'm adding a new folder path. That's fine. Data interface. I should have something to like get folder path. Shouldn't really jump straight into my animated resources. I could. Let me see. I could jump straight to my animated resources. What's the name of my folder member? Where is it? Excuse me. Folder paths. I could just access it directly in main. I think I will for now, just for speed. I can always clean things up offline when I'm off stream, that is. Where am I? Resources. That's not right, I did that in the wrong place. Data interface. Main. Animated resources. What was it expecting? Folder path, right? What am I doing? Confusing myself now. Yeah, populate for the path is use the file path. So that's a list, so I'll just index it. Alright guys, I'm gonna be right back. Just gonna take a short break. Hold on. Be right back. Oops, that's my ABS. I shall BRB. Hi guys, I'm back. So I just off screen for a little bit. Alright, let me just adjust my notepad. Alright, sweetness. Where was I? Yeah, I was just about to test the program, I think. So that's the index. So I'm setting the file path, I'm passing the file path, I'm setting my range, and I'm passing my range. Okay, let me run the program. Quickly check the chat. Any new messages? Wow, my browser's slow, man. Okay, got some new comments, MZ. I recommend trying Raylib. This is from Compiled. I'd recommend trying Raylib in my free time if I ever get the chance myself. It's a really good starting point to developing engines, even 3D dev. Oh, okay. Raylib, is that a NuGet package? I'll have a look at that. I'll give that a little look. If it's a NuGet package, I'll check it out. I've not heard of that. I think I might have heard of that actually. I'm not too sure. Let me know if it's a NuGet package or not. Otherwise, I'll do a bit of research into that. Sounds fun. Okay, index out of range already. That's funny. Index. What line is it? The line broke. Ah, okay, I understand. I haven't created it for the path yet. template before I actually try and add to it. Let me check this. Set for the file path. Look at this. Not sure that's not everything I want. What's this going on? I want to see exactly what's going on there. I'm missing something there. Am I missing an instantiation or something? I think it's this. That's fine. Probably, is my main animated resources constructed? Maybe not. Animated draw equals new animated draw. Animated object. I get it. I'm accessing animated resources. I don't think I've even constructed it. Try something. Make resources. Oops, I don't know what's up there. I'm doing that wrong, man. I did that wrong. Yeah, has to be done. Yeah. So what did I do wrong? That's strange. I would have expected this to go into the function. Let's check my trace here. Resources, there's the class. And then I would have expected to go to my function and just do what I need to do. I'm missing something quite simple. Hold on. What's this one? For the file part. I mean, the file path is right here, but that's not what I'm trying to do. Max it with the list. I'm gonna test this quickly. Let me just get my file path straight away. Or rather my folder path. Let me just see what's going on. I know that index is like not working properly. I don't really understand why, unless if I'm not constructing my class yet. I think that's the reason. But let me just pass the folder structure first. Hold on a second. Let me see something. Okay, I think I've just noticed something here. Oh, this is interesting. How much how many references I've got? Because like having this as static might be a bit of an issue for now. For this class, my animated resources class. No references, it seems. Oh wait, sorry, just loading. I'm accessing that member. I'm accessing my animated resources member statically. Okay, come back to this. For now, I'm just passing my file path straight into my function. Let's have a look at what happens. It's not to do with the construction of my animated resource, because that was working. When I was down on line 36, it did go through, so I don't know. A little bit confused. I'm skipping something quite simple there, I think. I'll just pass my folder path straight in. See what happens. I'm going to bring the stream to a close soon. We're approaching 2 hours, so quite a decent stream. Let's just get through this bit first. Yeah, that looked decent. Looked fine. Yeah, just keep it simple for now. So now I'm gonna skip to my other breakpoint if I can in my animated resources. Yeah, here we are in my animated resources class, and I want to make sure my constraints are all here. So asset 0 index count should be 1. Let's check our folder path list. Is there anything in here? Yeah, here we go. So we have our folder file path, or folder path better said. Let's see if I can show it in the Valkyrie. So that's the Valkyrie folder. For anyone who may be logging in now to the stream, this is my Valkyrie folder here for my sprite assets. So I've got a reference to my assets, which is great. And yeah, so I think there's a couple more constraints I have to set. Like how many sprites do I want to load? Right now it's all 0, isn't it? Index 0 is up to sprite index count. Oh, okay, I see that. Let's have a look what's going on. So it's only going to load like one sprite. So in this list here, let me look at it. Is it a list of lists or a list? It's a list of lists. Cool. So in my list of lists, sprite file paths, I have a list of lists as I try to illustrate here. And let me use this one here. So in my list of lists, the first entry is 0.png. I've just created that here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see if we can find it. That's the file path. And there you can see it says Valkyrie 0.png. I don't think that's right, by the way. Valkyrie is the name of the folder, so I need to make sure I've got the concatenation there. Just simple fix, I think. Slot. Just before the 0, and to make sure I'm adding this slash symbol, so I can concatenate the folder correctly. I think it's that. Oh, why did it come out that way? Yeah, that's right. I thought it was opposite direction for some reason. I'm hoping this is okay, what I just did. Because it's concatenating the folder name with the file name. I need to delimit the folder against my file name. Okay. I'm not going to take that breakpoint off just yet. I might want to go back to that. See how this looks. If I do this right. Yeah, so assets, Valkyrie folder in 0.png, so I've gone ahead and fixed this. So Valkyrie folder, 0, and that's PNG type. Okay. Sweet, so I've got the file path. So what's next is that now that I've got this file path, I need to pass that file path to my bitmap routine to actually make the image, the bitmap. I need to construct my canvas bitmap from the file path. Already got the implementation. So go up a little bit, load bitmap from image sequence file paths. Is that what I was calling? No, load bitmap from file path. I'm going to just go straight to definition. See if I can just go straight to the end of this routine to just make sure everything is working. I suppose I put a break here, line 176, and I'll step out hopefully to 176. Line 176, excellent. So now I'm gonna hopefully see my canvas bitmap list. I've got two objects there. Well, okay, so I think my constraints are a little bit off because I have two assets. See, I didn't really check the constraints. I've got two assets and two sprites in the first index. So here, I've got two canvas bitmaps. I don't even know what their file paths are. I might even have that. Do I have the drawing routine up and running? I don't even know. I haven't really set the Z buffer, so I doubt it. So I have two canvas bitmap objects generated from file paths. They're probably all the same image. I'm not sure. Actually, maybe not if I've got incrementation. I need to test it, and here is nothing. So obviously, I need to check my constraints. But it's good to see that things are loading in that respect. Let me see. I don't expect to see a scene actually. Let me see. Nah, because I haven't set the constraints correctly, and my Z buffer hasn't been set properly either. But under the hood, I have resources being loaded, which is really good news. We're on the right track, guys. I just have to make sure I'm targeting the correct resources. My routine does look a bit interesting, doesn't it? I mean, some of the constraints I'm using I need to actually step through it and make sure they're all correct. Like I was using asset 0 index count for like the index of the sprites, but also for the folders, I think, which is kind of a conflict. I have to be careful with that. This is going to be a job for the next stream, I think, because I'm just about hitting 2 hours. Let me just check something. I want to look at my animated draw. Where's animated draw gone? Solution Explorer. Z buffer I need to make sure this all works. So again, so the next episode, what I think we're gonna taper off from is make sure my constraints are okay, so I'm loading the right resources. I have resources loaded at runtime, but the constraints are not right, and obviously the draw routine is not really set correctly. That's one thing. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna introduce you guys to the command list system, how I created this concept of command lists. I'm going to explain the animation stuff, it's an animation routine. I'm loading the assets to animate, basically. And I'm going to also explain what render lists are. So it's going to be quite a fun next episode. Just to not keep you guys in too much suspense, I'll just kind of allude to things. So the concept behind the Z buffer, as I alluded to earlier, is to just control the draw order on the screen of all the assets, like my scene. So I have my background in the right place, I have my player agent in the right place, you know? The concept, the overall concept, I'll obviously dive into this properly, like these concepts in the next stream. Behind the render lists, it's quite simple really. You need to display the bitmaps in a destination rectangle. So this class generates those rectangles and keeps them in a collection of ret lists. And finally, the command list is quite interesting. I'm quite a little bit excited about this one. Basically, what I want the command list to do is to be able to essentially encapsulate arbitrary functionality in the program that you can use in your pipeline stack. So I could have, say, I'm using delegates here to encapsulate a function, and the function is called command list _1 calls, and so all it encapsulates is this implementation, which is animate sprites, to animate sprites on the screen. So what I've gone ahead and made is this feature that if I go back to my animated draw, in my command list, I'm calling that my encapsulated animation call to animate my sprites. And that's all arbitrarily, well, not arbitrarily, but in a sense, it's kind of like my animation is generically stored in my command list. Equally, I could also have a very different implementation stored in my command list. I don't know, maybe like a sound effect being loaded could be loaded into a command list, and then I can call my implementation, I can call my sound effect method in my conduit pipeline, right? So the whole idea behind the command list is just to sort of have a neat and simple way to access arbitrary functionality at runtime. Simple as that. So that's a fun little feature I'm quite excited to dive into. So we're just about reaching 2 hours, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm gonna check the comments now. See if there's any new comments. Let's see what's here. Hello there. Yep. Pard is a crazy nickname. I'm just reading what I see there. Sorry, guys. Yo, hello there. JINX script. Alright, guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate all of you tuning in. I'm considering having 2 streams a day, one with the Vanguard series, and one for my Learn C# Masterclass. So I'm basically putting together a C# Masterclass for people who want to learn C# from the fundamentals up. Whether you're beginner, lower beginner, upper beginner, or intermediate level, the Learn C# Masterclass for you. So I'm running that, I'm putting it all together. There should be some information in the description. You can book a quick call with me, or some kind of like, it's either going to be via email or like Zoom, but the first step will be just like email, just so I can get to know where you want to be. Yeah, my Google Calendar link should be there if you're interested, and more information. I don't want to kind of dwell on this too much. But yeah, so my Learn C# Masterclass, I'm thinking of having just the general live workshops twice, like once, and also these Vanguard series workshops once in the same day, so 2 streams a day. So let me know what you guys think about that. I tend to stream Vanguard around 9 or 10 a.m. So I'm thinking of streaming the Learn C# Masterclass, which is my more general tutorials for those who want to actually learn the fundies. This is more like a walkthrough of my projects that I'm doing. But yeah, with Learn C# Masterclass, just to reiterate, I'm reiterating that it's more a tutorial series for learning the stuff that I'm using. So like learning interfaces, delegates, classes, functions, loops, all these kind of the fundamentals to build your own C# application. I think I'm doing that. So let me know in the comments what you want to see. Thanks guys, I hope you all have a great day. Just checking again for the comments, and yeah, stay safe, stay blessed guys, take care, bye bye.